Hi, my name is Medea Benjamin. I'm with the group Code Pink. I'm just horrified by your foreign policy because it's a prescription for endless war. And of course, that's why you feel you need this huge military budget, because you want to keep us in these wars. I thought it was interesting that he said that voting for the Iraq war was a bad idea. That's fabulous. I wonder if you will admit that it was the Iraq war that led to ISIL, and also recognize that your support for overthrowing Gaddafi led to the chaos that's in Libya and is spreading all over today. It was also interesting to hear you say something critical about Saudi Arabia, because I never hear the senator criticizing Saudi Arabia. I wonder if you'd speak out more about the beheadings that Saudi does in the public squares, sentencing people to 10 years and 1,000 lashes because they blog something that the Saudi government doesn't like. You talk about Iran's intervention overseas, but will you talk about Saudi's intervention? Yeah, there's questions. Saudi's intervention in crushing the Arab Spring in Bahrain. How about that? And what about the Saudis' killing of thousands of people in Yemen now? You also talk about the Arab Spring, but I don't hear you talk about Egypt, the important home of the Arab Spring. And the question here on Egypt is, what about the Sisi regime and the U.S. continuing to support this very repressive Sisi regime? And I have one last thing, which is about Israel. If you want to talk about repression, will you talk about Israel's repression of the Palestinians, which happens on an every single day basis? Today is the one-year anniversary of the invasion of Gaza. Will you say something about the over 2,000 people killed in Gaza by the Israelis, including 551 children? Will you also say something about the continued settlements? And I have one last question, which is about the nuclear... Be quiet. The one last question is about, this is an important one, it's about Israel's nuclear weapons. I have a question, be respectful of me. I have a question for the senator. Does Israel have nuclear weapons? How many do they have? Should Israel be forced to join?
All right.
Here we go. Nah, come on.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So I'm going to put her down as undecided. This is your country as much as mine. You've got a right to every opinion you've expressed, right? I couldn't disagree with you more. I think people like you make the world incredibly dangerous. I think people like you are radical Islam's best hope. Because you don't understand. Let me finish.
Can you just let him answer the questions?
You know, Iraq didn't bring on radical Islam. We got attacked on September the 11th, 2001. We didn't have one soldier in Afghanistan. We didn't have an embassy. We didn't give them one dime of aid. And they hit us anyway. This is a religious war, and if you don't understand that, you shouldn't be president of the United States. They have a religious agenda dictated by their view of God to kill every Christian they can find, to destroy the state of Israel and come after us and take every Muslim and bend them to their will or cut their heads off. This happened long before Iraq. That's not why we're in trouble. It has nothing to do with us fighting back. It has everything to do with us not understanding what it takes to win. So as to radical Islam, you're not going to fool me that somehow we brought this upon ourselves. We did not. They represent a form of religion that is every much as dangerous as the Nazis were. They're an outlier in their faith, and I'm going to help people in that faith crush this movement. I'm going to help every young girl have a better future in the Mideast, because our young girls are in their crosshairs too. It is time to fight back. As to Israel, I blame Hamas. I don't blame Israel. It's a democracy in the Mideast. They're not perfect. But at the end of the day, the moral equivalency from an organization that shoots rockets from an apartment building, hoping you'll hit it, indiscriminately trying to kill children, could care less where the rocket lands, versus a professional military that tries to limit harm and damage, is not even close. As to Hamas, you're a terrorist organization, and you need to be wiped out by the Palestinian people. I hope they can form a government where Hamas is not in it. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we're in a religious war. I didn't start this war, but somebody's got to end it. And you know who's going to end it? It will be people within the faith. It will be the young people in the region, the people who want a better life, who reject what these thugs have to offer. And here is my goal. where I find will to fight back against radical Islam and stand up to this theocracy that is so hateful at its core, I will provide it capacity. I will be your partner.